House will come. This House will come back to order. House will come back to order. Mr. Clerk, you want to ring the bell? The way I feel. All right, this House will come to order. The chair recognizes the chair of the House Health and Human Services Committee, Chairman Cooper, for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1114.
Chairman Cooper has moved that this House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1114. Clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1114 to be entitled an act to amend Article 7, Chapter 4, Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to medical assistance generally so as to provide for Medicaid coverage for lactation care and services in postpartum care.
Chair recognizes Chairman Cooper to explain her motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate added that this would become effective upon appropriations. That's the only change they made. And I would like to thank all of our House members for your 161 vote when it left this chamber previously, for looking and taking care of the needs and beginning to take care of the needs of our most vulnerable mothers who are at risk of losing their lives postpartum, and for expanding lactation care to our Medicaid mothers. I would ask for your favorable vote for the substitute to House Bill 1114. Thank you.
On the lady's motion that the House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1114, all those in favor of the motion will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machine and call the roll.
Alexander, Anulowicz, Barr, Barton, Belton, Bennett, Bentley, Benton, Beverly, Blackman, Bodie, Bruce, Burns, Carpenter, Carson, Chokas, Clark, H., Collins, Cooper, Corbett, Dempsey, Dickey, Dollar, Drenner, Dubnik, Evstration, England, Irwin, Fleming, Fry, Gaines, Gardner, Glanton, Gravely, Harrell, Hatchett, Hawkins, Hitchens, Holcomb, Holmes, Houston, Hughley, Jackson M., Jaspers, Jones J., Kelly, Kendrick, Knight, LaHood, Laricchia, Lumsden, Martin, Mathiak, McCall, Morris G., Newton, Nix, Oliver, Parrish, Parsons, Petrie, Perkle, Powell, Reeves, Rhodes, Rich, Ridley, Rutledge, Scoggins, Setzler, Silcox, Smith L., Smith R., Smith V., Smyrie, Stevens R., Tankersley, Tanner, Tarvin, Taylor, Thomas E., Trammell, Washburn, Watson, Welch, Werkheiser, Wiedauer, Williams A., Williamson, Yerda, Allen, Bazemore, Bernau, Cannon, Carter, Clark D., Clark J., Cook, Davis, Douglas, Dreyer, Donahue, Earhart, Evans, Frazier, Gilligan, Gertler, Henson, Hill, Hogan, Holland, Holly, Hobson, Howard, Hutchinson, Jackson D., Jones S., Jones T., Jones V., Couch, Kennard, Lopez Romero, Marin, McLean, McLaurin, McLeod, Meeks, Mitchell, Moore B., Moore C., Morris M., Nelson, Wen, Paris, Prince, Pullen, Robichaud, Saints, Schofield, Scott, Shannon, Sharper, Smith M., Thomas A.M., Turner, Walensky, Wilkerson, Williams M.F., Williams N., Wilson, Beasley Teague, Bonner,
Yes.
Buckner,
Yes.
Burchett, Caldwell,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Cantrell, Dickerson, Dukes,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Gilliard,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Gullett,
Yes.
Jones, J.B.,
Yes.
Kirby,
Yes.
Lott,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Metz,
Yes.
Momtahan,
Yes.
Park,
Yes.
Pruitt, Rogers, Singleton, Stovall,
Yes.
Williams R.,
Yes.
Beasley Teague, Blackman, Corbett, Dempsey, Dollar, Evans, Gaines, Gravely, Henson, Hitchens, Jones V., Kelly, Moore C., Newton, Perkel, Pruitt, Ridley, Rogers, Setzler, Singleton.
Yes.
Members, while you're looking at the board to be sure it's correct, we had a couple of parliamentary inquiries. What purpose does Representative LaHood rise? He waves. What purpose does Representative Abel Mabel Thomas rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is it not true that this bill is a bill that all members need to be a part of based upon the problem or the challenge that it would solve in the state of Georgia. We'd like to thank so many members for their support. Sharon Cooper, Renita Hall, Cannon, Darshawn, Valencia, Carolyn Hughley, and so many others that I don't have the name to say.
If the lady so states.
But further parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is it not further true that all we want now is for the funding to be increased around that line item, and we are grateful that this body put 19.7 million in, and we'd like to, when our conferees go to fight for the budget, that they fight for maternal mortality. Is that not true?
I think they are fighting for maternal mortality.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
All right, all members examine the board to make sure it's correct. The clerk will lock the machine on the lady's motion. The ayes are 144, the nays are 0, and this House has agreed to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1114. Chair recognizes Chairman Cooper for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 987.
Chairman Cooper has moved that this House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 987. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 987, to be entitled an act to amend Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to health so as to provide additional measures for the protection of elderly persons.
Chair recognizes Chairman Cooper to explain her motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate made several changes to the bill. The first one would be we had put in that new employees, in order to cut down on their losing so many employees so quickly, that within 7 days they had to have 4 hours of education on the basic facts about Alzheimer's. The Senate moved that to 30 days. The Senate also, on staffing ratios, made some changes. In the memory care units, they went for, it's 12 during the daytime, it was 12 at night when he left his chamber. They put it to 15 at night. There has been some mention in the press that the bill was slightly weakened over there, but I would tell this chamber that there's a little caveat in this bill that says when they are inspected and held to state standards, the staffing ratios are important, but they have to meet the needs of their patients. And if the needs of their patients are not met, it doesn't matter if they're even meeting the staffing ratios, they will be held accountable. The other thing it did to where they could average on a monthly basis. It is true that in nursing homes and in assisted living, you do have elderly residents, and that you may have 12 in a memory unit one day, and the next day you may have 10, or you could have had 2 new people and had 12 or 13. So they are able to have an average of meeting staffing ratios. However, that does mean if you're going to meet an average that you're going to have a lot of days that were over the staffing ratio to make it come out all right. So there is a safety net in that. The other changes is that the Senate added a great deal of things that we have learned from this pandemic. And they have added and to prevent future problems with pandemics and to be better prepared, they have added some caveats on and information on correct cleaning procedures, on having 7 days of protective equipment available to meet the needs of their residents, depending on how large they are, and letting families know if they have people that are infected. Those are the changes. I would ask this body to vote yes to the Senate substitute, and I will tell you that having studied this for months now, when this bill passes as it did in the House, we can be proud in Georgia because we are going to be a leader in this country on staffing ratios and taking care of our elderly in assisted living facilities, and also in meeting future problems and being prepared for pandemics in these facilities, and it covers nursing homes in that part also. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll yield for questions if there are any.
You have a question, if you care to yield.
Yes, sir.
Chair recognizes Representative LaHood to your left for a question.
Does my friend in the well yield?
I will yield.
Is it not true that Georgia's over 30,000 residents residing in assisted living communities and personal care homes, they deserve to age with grace and dignity?
That is so true, Representative.
And is it further not true that you've worked extensively for months with stakeholders across the spectrum on this bill to ensure a balanced policy was the outcome, and that Georgia is going to be a great place, a better place to grow old because of this bill?
That is true, but I've had a lot of help from my friend that is asking those questions right now, and I am so appreciative for that.
Well, thank you for the bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the members. I yield the well, Mr. Speaker, and ask for a favorable vote. Thank you.
On the lady's motion that this House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 987, all those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines and call the roll.
Alexander, Anulowicz, Barr, Barton, Belton, Bennett, Bentley, Benton, Beverly, Blackman, Bodie, Bruce, Burns, Carpenter, Carson, Chokus, Clark H., Collins, Cooper, Corbett, Dempsey, Dickey, Dollar, Drenner, Dubnik, Efstration, England, Irwin, Fleming, Fry, Gaines, Gardner, Glanton, Gravely, Harrell, Hatchett, Hawkins, Hitchens, Holcomb, Holmes, Houston, Hughley, Jackson M., Jaspers, Jones J., Kelly, Kendrick, Knight, LaHood, LaRicchia, Lumsden, Martin, Mathiak, McCall, Morris G., Newton, Nix, Oliver, Parrish, Parsons, Petrie, Perkel, Powell, Reeves, Rhodes, Rich, Ridley, Rutledge, Scoggins, Setzler, Silcox, Smith L., Smith R., Smith V., Smyrie, Stevens R., Tankersley, Tanner, Tarvin, Taylor, Thomas E., Trammell, Washburn, Watson, Welch, Werkheiser, Wiedauer, Williams A., Williamson, Yerda, Allen, Bazemore, Bernal, Cannon, Carter, Clark D., Clark J., Cook, Davis, Douglas, Dreyer, Donahue, Earhart, Evans, Frazier, Gilligan, Gertler, Henson, Hill, Hogan, Holland, Holly, Hobson, Howard, Hutchinson, Jackson D., Jones S., Jones T., Jones V., Couch, Kennard, Lopez Romero, Marin, McLean, McLaurin, McLeod, Meeks, Mitchell, Moore B, Moore C, Morris M, Nelson, Huen, Paris, Prince, Pullen, Robichaud, Saint, Schofield, Scott, Shannon, Sharper, Smith M, Thomas A.M., Turner, Walensky, Wilkerson, Williams M.F., Williams N., Wilson, Beasley Teague,
Yes.
Bonner,
Yes.
Buckner,
Yes.
Burchett, Caldwell, Campbell,
Yes. Yes.
Cantrell, Dickerson, Dukes,
Yes.
Gamble, Gilliard,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Gullett,
Yes.
Jones, J.B.,
Yes.
Kirby,
Yes.
Lott,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Metz,
Yes.
Momtahan,
Yes.
Park,
Yes.
Pruitt,
Yes.
Rogers, Singleton,
Yes.
Stovall,
Yes.
Williams R,
Yes.
Carpenter, Dollar, Gamble, Jackson D, Jones T, Ridley, Rogers, Werkheiser, Williamson.
Members will look at the board and make sure it's accurate. Clerk will lock the machines. On the lady's motion that the House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 987, the ayes are 140, the nays are 0, and this House has agreed to the Senate substitute. Chair recognizes Chairman Newton for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House agree to the Senate substitute for House Bill 789.
Chairman Newton has moved that this House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 789. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 789, to be entitled an act to amend 20C of Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to accurate provider directories.
Chair recognizes Chairman Newton to explain his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This House has made important progress in surprise medical billing and protecting Georgians from those. This current bill, 789, just adds to the current hospital disclosure about in-network status of hospitals to tell them about the physician specialties that are hospital-based that are a source of surprise medical bills that we're trying to correct. The Senate simply changed one item in that. Some hospitals don't have an emergency room or don't have an operating room. An example would be Shepherd Spinal Hospital. It's an important hospital. They didn't want to have a red X showing the absence of an in-network provider when they don't even offer the service. The Senate changed that to a green, not applicable, or an NA. Hope this House will continue to make progress for Georgia families on surprise medical bills, spending thousands of dollars a year for health insurance. This simply lets them know what's included in their plan and what's not. I'd be glad to yield for any questions if there are any.
You do not appear to have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
On the gentleman's motion that this House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 789, all those in favor of the motion will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines.
Alexander, Anulowitz, Barr, Barton, Belton, Bennett, Bentley, Benton, Beverly, Blackman, Bodie, Bruce, Burns, Carpenter, Carson, Chokas, Clark H., Collins, Cooper, Corbett, Dempsey, Dickey, Dollar, Drenner, Dubnik, Evstration, England, Irwin, Fleming, Fry, Gaines, Gardner, Glanton, Gravely, Harrell, Hatchett, Hawkins, Hitchens, Holcomb, Holmes, Houston, Hughley, Jackson M., Jaspers, Jones J., Kelly, Kendrick, Knight, LaHood, Laricchia, Lumsden, Martin, Mathiak, McCall, Morris G., Newton, Nix, Oliver, Parrish, Parsons, Petrie, Perkel, Powell, Reeves, Rhodes, Rich, Ridley, Rutledge, Scoggins, Setzler, Silcox, Smith L., Smith R., Smith V., Smyrie, Stevens R., Tankersley, Tanner, Tarvin, Taylor, Thomas E., Trammell, Washburn, Watson, Welch, Werkheiser, Wiedauer, Williams A., Williamson, Yurda, Allen, Bazemore, Bernal, Cannon, Carter, Clark D., Clark J., Cook, Davis, Douglas, Dreyer, Donahue, Earhart, Evans, Frazier, Gilligan, Gertler, Henson, Hill, Hogan, Holland, Holly, Hobson, Howard, Hutchinson, Jackson D., Jones S., Jones T., Jones V., Couch, Kinnard, Lopez Romero, Marin, McLean, McLaurin, McLeod, Meeks, Mitchell, Moore B., Moore C., Morris M., Nelson, Wen, Paris, Prince, Pullen, Robichaud, Saint, Schofield, Scott, Shannon, Sharper, Smith M., Thomas A.M., Turner, Walensky, Wilkerson, Williams M.F., Williams N., Wilson, Beasley Teague,
Yes.
Bonner,
Yes.
Buckner, Burchett, Caldwell, Campbell,
Yes. Yes.
Cantrell, Dickerson. Dukes.
Yes.
Gamble. Gilliard.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Gullett.
Yes.
Jones, J.B.
Yes.
Kirby.
Yes.
Lott.
Yes.
Mathis. Metz.
Yes.
Momtahan. Park.
Yes. Yes.
Pruitt.
Yes.
Rogers. Singleton.
Yes.
Stovall. Williams R.
Yes.
Bodie. Dollar. Dubnik. Gamble. Holly. Hobson. Jones T. Jones V. Mathis. Ridley.
Yes.
Robichaux.
Members will look at the board and make sure it is consistent with your intended vote. The clerk will lock the machine. On the gentleman's motion that this House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 789, the ayes are 140, the nays are 0, and this House has agreed to the Senate substitute to House Bill 789. The chair recognizes Representative Gaines for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House disagree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1094.
Representative Gaines has moved that this House disagree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1094. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1094 to be entitled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 20 of Title 45 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding personnel administration.
Chair recognizes Representative Gaines to explain his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In March, the House passed 164 to 1, ensuring paid parental leave for all state employees, including over 246,000 state employees. Again, 164 to 1. This is a priority of the House, and so I hope that by us disagreeing, the Senate will consider receding from its position, and let's get this done for our state employees, including educators and teachers across this state.
On the gentleman's motion that this House disagree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1094, is there any objection? Is there any objection? Do you object?
Yeah.
Do you object?
Mr. Speaker, we don't have a copy of this in our notebooks or in our folders.
I'm sorry, they are on the table outside. We'll take a couple of minutes for you to go get it and look at it. While, if I could have your attention, please. While everybody is getting a copy of the document, I think I had to do this yesterday. I'm going to do it again today. All members, while they are in session on the floor, in the gallery, or in 341, unless you are speaking, are required to wear a mask. It's kind of late in the afternoon, they kind of start falling off people's faces, I notice, around here. So, but please be mindful of that. Be mindful of it tomorrow.
And the copies of all these bills are put on the tables outside well in advance.
Okay. And while you're getting that copy, let me kind of give you some guidance for tomorrow. There will be copies placed in the morning of all of the matters that we will be taking up on the tables outside the chamber and outside the gallery and outside 341. Those will be available for you to get earlier and be reading them before we get to them. Wants to object to what? Okay, does everyone now have a copy of the document? You are not agreeing, you are disagreeing, which will send it back to the Senate for further action. So the chair will restate the question. On the gentleman's motion that the House disagree to the Senate substitute House Bill 1094, is there any objection? You object.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I object. If we are going to cut our pay, the whip encouraged me. I say go for 11 instead of 10, Mr. Speaker.
I think that issue has already been handled, hasn't it? This is dealing with paid parental leave.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, but the Senate has taken the lead in cutting it by 11%, and I feel compelled, based on what I heard from the whip, that we need to sacrifice big. So I would like to go ahead and take the 11% pay cut. So I do object.
Well, why didn't you bring that up when we were debating the pay cut?
I had a chance to think about it, and the whip's
Well, I'm going to rule you out of order. Because I think the time to have been heard on that was when we were taking up the pay cut measure earlier. What purpose does Chairman Knight rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
So if I just heard the gentleman's motion to object to this, that would mean that this body would not be taking up the bill that would give the leave to our state workers. Is that correct?
That's correct. That would be the effect of his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to make sure we got that crystal clear.
Do you still object? I want to be fair here. We're going to put it on the board if you still object. And I'm not going to wait all night for you to make your mind up. All right.
I will remove my objection, Mr. Speaker.
I'm sorry?
I will remove my objection, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. So I'll ask one more time, is there any objection? The chair hears none. This House has disagreed to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1094. All right, we got supplemental first readers.
Senate Bill 508 by Senator Strickland, the 17th, and Anderson, the 24th, to be titled an act to amend an act creating the State Court of Rockdale County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 518 by Senator Strickland of the 17th and Jones of the 10th, to be entitled an act to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the Magistrate Court of Henry County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 527 by Senator Harbison of the 15th, to be entitled an act to authorize the governing authority of the Unified Government of Cusseta, Chattahoochee County to levy an excise tax pursuant to subsection B of Code Section 481351.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 531 by Senator Orrock of the 36th, Jordan of the 6th, and Tate of the 38th, to be entitled an act to provide for a new homestead exemption from the City of Atlanta ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
And Senate Bill 533 by Senator Kennedy, the 18th, be titled an act to amend an act providing a new charter for the city of Fort Valley.
Intergovernmental coordination.
That completes first readers.
We have a supplemental local calendar, third reading and passage of uncontested local bills. If there is no objection, we will vote on the local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. Hearing none, it is so ordered. The clerk will read the local calendar.
House Bill 922 by substitute by Representative Carpenter IV, Whitfield County.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on the supplemental local calendar? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bills? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall these bills now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bills on the local calendar will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines.
Alexander, Anulowitz, Barr, Barton, Belton, Bennett, Bentley, Benton, Beverly, Blackman, Bodie, Bruce, Burns, Carpenter, Carson, Chokas, Clark H., Collins, Cooper, Corbett, Dempsey, Dickey, Dollar, Drenner, Dubnik, Efstration, England, Irwin, Fleming, Fry, Gaines, Gardner, Glanton, Gravely, Harrell, Hatchett, Hawkins, Hitchens, Holcomb, Holmes, Houston, Hughley, Jackson M., Jaspers, Jones J., Kelly, Kendrick, Knight, LaHood, Laricchia, Lumsden, Martin, Mathiak, McCall, Morris G., Newton, Nix, Oliver, Parrish, Parsons, Petrie, Perkel, Powell, Reeves, Rhodes, Rich, Ridley, Rutledge, Scoggins, Setzler, Silcox, Smith L., Smith R., Smith V., Smyrie, Stevens R., Tankersley, Tanner, Tarvin, Taylor, Thomas E., Trammell, Washburn, Watson, Welch, Werkheiser, Wiedauer, Williams A., Williamson, Yerda, Allen, Bazemore, Bernal, Cannon, Carter, Clark D., Clark J., Cook, Davis, Douglas, Dreyer, Donahue, Earhart, Evans, Frazier, Gilligan, Gertler, Henson, Hill, Hogan, Holland, Holly, Hobson, Howard, Hutchinson, Jackson D, Jones S, Jones T, Jones V, Couch, Kennard, Lopez Romero, Marin, McLean, McLaurin, McLeod, Meeks, Mitchell, Moore B, Moore C, Morris M, Nelson, Wen, Paris, Prince, Pullen, Robichaux, Saints, Schofield, Scott, Shannon, Sharper, Smith M, Thomas A M, Turner, Walensky, Wilkerson, Williams MF, Williams N, Wilson, Beasley Teague,
Yes.
Bonner,
Yes.
Buckner, Burchett, Caldwell,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Cantrell, Dickerson, Dukes, Gamble, Gilliard, Gordon,
Yes. Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Gullett,
Yes.
Jones, JB,
Yes.
Kirby,
Yes.
Lott,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Metz,
Yes.
Momtahan, Park,
Yes.
Pruitt,
Yes.
Rogers, Singleton,
Yes.
Stovall, Williams R,
Yes.
Allen, Corbett, Henson, Holland, Jones J, Jones T, Jones V, Lumsden, Paris, Rich, Ridley, Scoggins, Silcox, Smith M, Smyrie, Washburn.
We have a question. Someone trying to be recognized? What purpose does Representative Carter rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
I think it's a not true. There are two local calendars on the table. One has Whitfield and one has Brookhaven. If there are additional local bills that we're voting on, we do not have it. Is that not true?
Okay. The one that has Brookhaven is on for an agree-disagree, which we will not take up until tomorrow. The Whitfield County is on the supplemental calendar, and that's what you're voting on now. That help you out?
Yes, sir. Please correct my vote. It's a yes.
All right. Members, please look at the board. Clerk will lock the machine on the supplemental local calendar. The ayes are 134, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Please help me wish a happy birthday today. I know he was here a short time ago. I'm not sure if he still is, to Representative or Chairman Jesse Petrie. Chairman Petrie. We have, if you've signed up for an announcement, we have a couple of announcements. Chair recognizes Chairman Beverly for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Georgia House Democratic Caucus will have a meeting tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. on Zoom. 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Georgia House Democratic Caucus. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hatchett for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Majority Caucus, for your planning purposes, will be meeting tomorrow at lunch break, and we will have lunch. We're going to be meeting in the Floyd Room in the Twin Towers at our lunch break tomorrow.
Just these two. Chair recognizes Chairman Fleming for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Due to the lateness of the hour, the House Judiciary Committee scheduled upon adjournment will not meet tonight. It will be canceled. Thank you.
Okay, Senate Bill 321 will be postponed to the next legislative day. Senate Bill 318 will be postponed to the next legislative day. Senate Bill 340 will be postponed to the next legislative day. Senate Bill 489 will be postponed to the next legislative day. Senate Bill 410 will be postponed to the next legislative day. And Senate Bill 335 will be postponed to the next legislative day. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader of the House for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Thursday, June 25th, 2020.
The Majority Leader has moved that this House be adjourned until 10 o'clock a.m. on Thursday, June 25th. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say no. I believe the ayes have it. This House will be adjourned until Thursday at 10 a.m.